what a move up in the markets yesterday and a continued push today. There is going to be a lot of excitement about SpaceX. I have that chart. Nothing's on it right now, but I'm still going to show it to you. And welcome, everybody. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing, and welcome to today's best trade setups. Let's dive into the S&P 500. I did give you some long levels yesterday. It's scary, but some of them played out pretty nicely. Here's the first chart. Spiders got into this gap in the charts right here at $725.29. I did not have this on my radar. I actually had this long level right here at $723.77. But look at the takeoff from the lows. Closed up 1.7 or 1.81%. And now we're up over 20 points on the SPY from that level. So today, what we're looking at, because of the move to the upside, we're already into some resistance right here at $743.72. My level of resistance for a shortable level today is $748.17. One thing to keep in mind when you're entering any short positions, because I have some on the radar, is what is happening or what's going on with the SPY. If the SPY continues to creep higher and higher, then you're going to have some bullish momentum in some of the stocks that you're trying to look into. So just be a little bit more cautious. Maybe have that on the side of your screen to kind of analyze what it's doing compared to what the chart is doing that you're trying to short. Okay, let's jump into SPCX. Whoo, what a rally. Here's this upswing trend line that we were monitoring. You got this nice pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit. This was kind of a kiss. Fourth hit, closed below, but there was never a continuation move to the downside. I was mentioning my long level for yesterday was still $537.21. As you can see, we never got back into that level, but it told me that there was a ton of support sitting right here, which is why I was still bullish on the stocks, at least short term. I did not anticipate this kind of a rally. You just don't think that the semiconductors are going to make this continued push, but that's what's happening. My shortable level today is a gap in the charts, and it's actually looking to get really close to that level now. Shortable level, $602.72. Beautiful gap that was created on this high pivot point, closed right here on the 4th of June, 2026. And we have a secondary gap at the charts at $616.17. We did have this nice hammer candle, shooting star, hangman, whatever you want to call it. This is kind of signaling to us that the top is starting to form on the SOXX. Now, if you were patient and tried to short, or you were aggressive and you shorted it here, waited for a retrace of this upswing trend line, awesome. Then what you look for is another retrace to this gap in the charts, or this gap right here at $616.50. And the reason I like that is if it does start closing below or above this high pivot point right here, taking out the all-time high, closes above, you can always exit that trade. All right, Microsoft is on the radar today, and it was yesterday. Look at that bounce off $384.24. Came back in, retested that level. As you can see, there's a ton of support. So for me, the support's already hit twice. If Microsoft continues to sell off, what we're looking at is this long-term downsloping trend line, as well as a ton of price action consolidation right in this area at $366.82. For me, this 384.24 level is off of the table. It's already done that twice. So what we want to see, if you're bearish on this, is price consolidate right on this, and then you can get a flush out. This would create an amazing buying opportunity on Microsoft. On a shortable level, I mean, if you're aggressive, I guess you could play $397.22. That's your aggressive short level on Microsoft today. SanDisk, what a push to the upside. Normally in this market, I have a logarithmic charts turned on. In this case of SanDisk, I do not. Pivot top here, secondary hit, third hit. I know this one closed above it and this one closed above it too, but it never made a continuation move. So originally, this would have been my trend line. Anytime you have additional information in the charts, you have to readjust your trend line because that is where the trend is currently sitting. So let me go ahead and put this back on here. So you notice how price action got back up, created this nice top with a great reversal. This tells me that this trend right here, even though price got above it, is more accurate for the trend. And it created this nice pivot, decent sell-off, down 18%, $343. Now, this was on the back of everything else selling off as well. So it's not quite as solid of a move because the whole market's got a bid to the downside or a drawdown. But that's okay, because at least it gives us an idea of where the next upswing trend line is for resistance. And that's sitting right here at $2,005.63. As you can see, this would be the fourth hit of this upswing trend line. Yesterday, I did mention a couple different levels. I noticed this pivot top right, or this gap in the charts right here at 1832. Had you played this on a retrace to the gap in the charts, you could have taken about $20 to $25. And then I said in the secondary level for a potential entry price for a short would be this 1859 level. You could have taken this for a short. And my mention was, if it does get above that on a daily closing basis, which also happened yesterday, you could always look to stop out and look for another reversal. Or you could look for another trend line. So that would be it. Had you gotten in at either one of these levels, even if you would have started a swing trade there, you would have had about a 2.62% stop out on the trade. You guys, once your thesis breaks, once you got a pivot top that was strong resistance and it breaks, so what? You exit the trade. The max loss for you yesterday would have been about 3%. Every once in a while, you're going to take those. But if you continually do this and stick to your strategy, then eventually you're going to build wealth over time because you're not taking these massive losses. So then your next level of resistance, you try it again, is again $2,000 or $2,005.63, another upsloping trend line. We are still in a bull pattern on SanDisk. We did have that upsloping trend line. If you didn't see this, go back to the last episode, have a great upsloping trend line where SanDisk is still continuing to get on support. Adobe had a nice drop today. Look at this pivot point, price consolidation. It actually dropped below this high pivot point, or this low pivot right here, that I actually thought it was going to catch support. Once it failed that, I actually anticipated Adobe coming down to 186.27. That is still my long level, major pivot in the charts, as well as previous price support. So if we can drop back down to $186.27 or into that level, that is where I'm going long on at ADBE. Good earnings, and the CFO was stepping down. Aggressive traders. If you're looking to short Nvidia, your level is $208.19. This for me would be too aggressive, and I would not be interested in getting into that level for a short. However, if you're aggressive, that is a gap in the charts that could get a pretty significant resistance. You could get about a 1 to 1.5% pullback. So this would be more of a scalp. SpaceX, as you can see, SPCX, SpaceX is still not trading. However, it does go live today, which is why I'm going over ASTS. ASTS should get a nice bounce on the back of this earnings. However, the opposite is actually happening. Could be some money rotation outside of ASTS into the IPO of SpaceX, or people getting ready to load the boat with SpaceX. We're still identifying this upswing trend line. Pivot top here, or pivot low here, third hit, fourth hit. What I like about this support level is price action got below it, got this nice V-shaped recovery. Tells me that this is still a lot of focus for buyers and sellers. So once price action gets back in there around $95 or $85, there should be a lot of support. One thing on the downside, though, is because it's hit so many times, if I was going to get into this trade right here at $85, I would look for a close below. And then your next upswing trend line support, pivot low here, secondary hit. So you're looking at this low pivot point, and it really depends on when you get into this or hit this upswing trend line around $72.05. So if you're a little bit more conservative, wait for that kind of a pullback. Rocket Labs had some positive news. They're being added to the Nasdaq 100. It was up in the pre-market. I have this nice gap in the charts, but had a flush out. And so we have to identify where the next level of support is. Here's this high pivot point, $99.58. Or really, if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you could wait for $96.30. That's where my level is. The reason I like this level instead of this high pivot point is because oftentimes it flushes that $100 whole round number, and it'll drop another 3%. And that's where a lot of people are going to have their orders loaded up. On the upside, here's this gap in the charts. If we make a push up on the back of the IPO on SpaceX, $123.32 is where you would look to short it. Still nothing going on. I did see $383, but nothing's going on. Still no data. Okay, that's something to watch for. We'll see if there's going to be money rotation out of the S&P 500 and these momentum stocks to rush into SpaceX, or is it just going to be a sell the news? People start dumping their stocks because it's overvalued, a $1.7 trillion company, and it hasn't been on the market yet. Money could rotate out, and we can get another surge in the markets. We will have to wait and see. So that's what I have for you guys. If you guys are getting something out of this, please make sure you're liking, you're following, subscribing, and sharing with those friends so that way they can get the same information you're getting. We'll see you guys next time in the charts. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.